One of the things that I think about a lot is that we tend to oversubscribe to a lot of different mantras or concepts within the ecosystem, or as we talk about, like the practice of growth. And the concept of the North Star metric, or the one metric that matters, is one that I think we oversubscribe or oversimplify a little bit, and it actually causes some problems, right? But Kieran Flanagan, VP of Growth at HubSpot, actually wrote a recent post that highlighted a bunch of really positive things that you should be doing with your North Star metric, how you should be viewing it, how you should be using it. So I want to walk through a few of the different problems with the North Star metric and kind of what to do instead. The first problem with the North Star metric is that it's ultimately an output metric. What that means is that it's going to be a lagging indicator on your growth. This means a couple things. One is that if you want to improve that North Star metric, that output, you have to identify, define, and focus on whatever the input metrics are into that output metric. The second thing is, if you really want to understand the health of your business and make sure that it's okay, is that you need to monitor all of those leading indicators. Because if you're only monitoring that lagging indicator, that output metric, it might be hiding things under the surface and ends up being too late to fix them in the end. The second problem with the North Star metric is that it only captures one dimension of the business. You need something that Sean Clowes, VP of Growth at Metromile, former head of growth at Atlassian, says a constellation of metrics to fully understand what is going on with the business. You typically have a retention engagement metric, a monetization metric like revenue, and an acquisition metric, and those three combined kind of give you the three dimensions of the business. The third thing that is a problem with the North Star metric that gets oversimplified is that a North Star metric doesn't account for a trade-off with metrics. Almost every metric there is some form of trade-off. To give you an example, let's talk about the LinkedIn feed as an example. Might have two different teams, one focused on monetization, one focused on engagement. The monetization team might decide we're going to put more ads in the feed because we're trying to achieve a goal of more dollars per user. But the trade-off with that is probably engagement, which is a totally different team. So here you have two teams with two totally reasonable metrics, two important metrics, but they're at odds with each other. So you need to make sure that you're looking at multiple metrics to get a whole view. All right. Key takeaway here, once again, North Star metric, it's only the beginning. It is not the end. You need to take that North Star metric, identify and define the inputs, and really focus your time and your energy around those inputs. That's what leads to growth. That's it for today. If you have any comments, put them in the comments section. Otherwise, check out reforge.com/brief.